Hi, YouTube. Thank you for coming to my next live stream. I'm super, super excited to be here, and I hope you guys are all doing well and it's not too cold where you are. Where I am, it's pretty much winter already, and I didn't really think about how to stream when it's dark out at like 4 p.m. And so I just have a little lamp here, which is why my lighting is trash. So I'm sorry about that. I'm really excited to do a little bit of a different kind of video today where we're not going to talk about a distributor or an MLM CEO, but instead we're going to talk about, I think they're a consulting firm that helps MLM CEOs start their businesses and decide their compensation plan, and they're called NetReady. So I'm really, really excited to talk about NetReady today. Hi, Live Panic. Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, hi, Rich. Thanks for coming, Rich. So, if you missed it, Rich and Live Panic, going to talk about a company that helps MLM CEOs run their company. So, it's a super interesting topic, and I'm really excited to get into it. So, we're going to do quick description of the company, and then there are at least one short video on a compensation plan that we're going to watch and learn about, because I realized the only MLM compensation plan that I can actually talk about for any period of time is the binary compensation plan, and I really want to learn more about the other kinds of plans. So this video is definitely going to be more educational, and I'm really, really excited for it. So I'm just going to share my screen. It's going to take me just 1 second to make sure I'm clicking on the right one. Sorry, guys. Oops. Okay, so can you guys see this? So NetReady is the company I'm really excited to talk about today. And this is their CEO, and I'm pretty sure they are from South Africa. They've said that in their other videos. So this is Richard Sletcher, the CEO, and he is a businessman with extensive experience in traditional business and MLM. He started his first MLM business in 1989, and although this business was ultimately a failure, the lessons he learned have been invaluable. I thought when we're in an MLM, we're not supposed to think that we failed at anything, and we're supposed to always have like a positive spin and never say we failed, right? Just that we learned. So that's interesting. In 2000, he founded NetReady, a software company specializing in MLM, direct selling, and party plan software. This company is highly successful and has helped some of the biggest companies in the world achieve success in MLM. He is currently the CEO of NetReady. He launched Acorn Kids. I don't know what Acorn Kids is. A highly successful party plan company. I don't know if that is an MLM or not. The company was sold in 2007 and is still extremely successful. Today, Richard hosts the MLM for CEOs podcast and blog site. The aim is to help companies enter the MLM space and succeed. El Kerr said, great stuff. Finally, someone is looking into NetReady. Yeah, they're super interesting. They have a really interesting YouTube channel, and I want to go through the compensation plan videos that I understand enough to provide some commentary on without just sitting there and being like, I don't get it. So I'm definitely wanting to do more videos. And let's see if I can just go to the home. Sorry, of course it's slow. I just wanted to show like what NetReady actually does. So we talked about the CEO, and now I want to talk about NetReady. So we're not going to read all of this. Downline tree. NetReady provides state-of-the-art visualization tools that allow your members to visualize and manage a large team. So they can help you manage your massive downline. Liv Panic says, if his MLM failed, what makes him the expert? Right? That's a great point. If he's so successful, in MLM, he knows so much about the industry, then why did his own company fail? That's a great point. And why would an MLM CEO trust him if he couldn't even run his own company properly? That's a great point. Email and SMS. The NetReady MLM management software makes communication highly personalized and relevant. Helps you automate processes to build a relationship with your members without the normal fatigue associated with intensive communication campaigns. We have a comment here. Let's see. Elker says, those comp plan videos are fascinating, to be honest. I seriously get some value from them. I'm interested in an anti-MLM perspective. Yeah, I hope you like my perspective. It did take me a second to really think through what these plans are and think through some commentary that I could actually provide. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of the videos, but it's definitely a goal to jump into that playlist a little more. I think they have 8 videos on that playlist. We're almost on this page. So e-learning. NetReady provides a powerful e-learning platform that will allow you to training. See, there is a typo. Allow you to train a large distributed network. The system has testing capabilities to ensure that you do not promote people without knowing that they understand the content. When it comes to MLM and network marketing, they're the same thing, sir. Training is king, and the NetReady system delivered in this area. I write for a living. I would call myself a professional writer. This typo drives me crazy. Please proofread your stuff. That's all I have to say. Okay. Support. NetReady's help desk gives you the power to serve your customers with excellence. Organize your operators into departments, build custom views for your tickets, automated recurring processes, and more. And then here you can calculate your commissions. You can organize your incentives. And then reporting. So you are provided extensive reporting for every aspect of your MLM business. More importantly, we have a reporting engine that allows us to create reporting for any data that we have in the system fast. So NetReady is a company that I think is based in South Africa. And this is not geared to MLM distributors, but instead MLM CEOs. Okay. So this is the one that I wanted to talk about first. Does that look okay? Yeah. Okay, so this is the one I wanted to talk about first. I'm really excited for this. And please let me know your commentary and your thoughts on the mono leg plan down below. And if we have time, then I would like to go into another video. But if it takes me a while to get through this, we'll just do one of them. So I'm really excited. And let me know if the audio is okay, because I had some technical difficulties again, of course.
Series on compensation plans, and today we're going to be talking about the mono leg or single leg compensation plan. But before I get started, please can you bang that bell for notifications, comment like crazy, subscribe to our channels, like us, all of those good things. Really appreciate it. So today we're going to be talking about the mono leg or single leg compensation plan, and to put it mildly, this is a very unusual compensation plan. So in the mono leg, obviously, as the name suggests.
Thank you, Elker and Lift Panic, for telling me that the audio is fine. I always feel like I'm going to be talking to myself and that no one will be able to hear me. So thank you for letting me know.
Everybody joins under each other. So you might have people above you and below you just signing up people, and they all go in one straight leg. There is only one leg in the system, and they just go straight the way down. Now, you might have recruited somebody in this leg, and they might be sitting 2 or 3 levels below you. What happens now, at some point, you have to buy back into the leg. And so generally what happens after 10 or 20 levels, you buy back in, and that's to enable you to continue to earn from the system.
So I found that pretty interesting that you have to buy back in. And he said every 10 or 20 levels. So that just means every 10 to 20 people, like A is one person, B is one level. Sorry, not one person sees one level, right? And so every 10 to 20 people, you have to buy back in, right? So say you start as A and then 10 people are recruited in the line beneath you, then you have to buy back in and you're going to be at the bottom of the line. A different article I found said that you are entered into the line based on the date and time you sign up, right? So just because you start as the first, as the one on the top of the line, in 10 to 20 people, you're at the bottom again. And then that just will continue. And so I wonder how often these people have to buy back in and how much does it cost? Because I feel like if you have thousands and thousands of people all recruiting in the same leg, it might take like 20 minutes for 10 to 20 people. And I know that's just what he said. I don't know if it's actually 10 to 20 levels, but I feel like you would just be constantly buying back into the system.
One of the biggest challenges you have here is runaway commission. So what happens with runaway commission is that because you've got hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people down a single leg and the commissions are all flowing up, you can get a situation where the commissions run away. The way that they solve...
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because the person at the top, all of the commissions are just going to like make its way up, not even the pyramid, make its way up the line. And the person at the top is going to get the most commissions from sales, any kind of sales that could happen, or like commissions from people constantly buying back in to the system. I feel like companies that use this compensation plan, I bet you the majority of their revenue is coming from these poor people just simply buying back into the system. Now, if any of you guys have any in-depth knowledge of this kind of compensation plan, like maybe you did your own research, or maybe you're in a company somewhere that had this kind of compensation plan, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
That they limit by depth, and that's why you buy in again. So although they say it's infinitely deep, the reality is only 10 or 20 levels deep before you have to buy in again to take advantage of the next 10 or 20 levels. So the reality is it's actually in a buyback situation, it's limited by depth. Another way that they handle it is by capping. So what happens with a cap is that you actually get...
It said the IBO's income is based on their rank. So IBO, independent business owner. I would like to know, how did one have a rank in this kind of company? Because say in Beachbody, you keep your rank because you have a certain number of people below you who are at a certain rank, and then they all have a certain amount of personal volume. But if everyone is just in a line, how do you keep your rank? How do you rank advance? Sorry, so he's going to tell us about capping income or capping commissions. Crap, I stopped it at a bad time, so let's just go back. So yeah, you're capping income.
What happens with a cap is that you actually get capped at a certain amount of money. So your income can go up to a certain amount per 20 or 30 levels deep, and then it caps, and it doesn't matter how big the system goes and how much commissions are flowing, you are capped at that amount. So that's another way that they traditionally handle this. And then of course there's normalization. Now what happens with normalization is the company decides they're only prepared to pay out, say, 50%. And so if they calculate the commissions and say the commissions come to 60%, then they reduce everybody's commission across the board by an amount that brings the commissions back to 50%. They normalize to 50%. So the reality is at the end of the day that it's not infinitely deep because they're normalizing. And then last but not...
Live Panic just said, I'd be surprised if any MLM uses this type of plan. Yeah, he's going to tell us later that he does not suggest using this plan, and that the companies that he found who actually use this plan do not do it in a proper manner. Like they're not doing it legally. So the chances are people who've been in an MLM were not in this type of compensation plan. That's a good point, Live Panic. Normalization, the commissions are reduced across the network to ensure the company never pays more than the maximum allocated commission. And so even if the commission is higher, they're going to reduce it back down to 50%, which is a little bit weird. I don't really understand that part. L. Kerr says, perhaps you rank up when you personally enroll a certain amount of people. Yeah, that would make sense, eh? I don't know why I didn't think of that before, because I was thinking of the idea of like a binary compensation plan when it's based on like the rank of people below you, not just the number. So, okay, that's an excellent point. Maybe like the first rank is you need to have like 2 people that you personally enroll, even though those people could be like 100 levels down from you or something, and they're not actually like in your front line. So, yeah, that's a good point.
Not least, what they do is they limit by order. So in other words, if you've got 100 people in the upline who need to get paid, then, and we're trying to pay out 50%, then everybody would get 0.5%. But if there were 1,000 people in the upline, everybody would get 0.05%. So you can see the more people in the network, the smaller the piece of the pie gets distributed among the network. Now
the bigger the network, the smaller the piece of pie that is distributed among the network. That doesn't seem fair. So if you have a bigger network, do you technically get paid less? Because he was telling us that the commissions could run away, but they do have different mechanisms in place to avoid that. And so I don't really understand that part. Like, why would you want to recruit more and more people if you know that you're going to have less commissions because it's distributed among more people? Does that make sense? So Rich says this sounds like HR policy for scammers, right? Yeah, I agree. This YouTube channel is fascinating. You can just do like net ready MLM and then you'll be able to find it. It's fascinating. There's a lot of really interesting info on there.
Thanks of this compensation plan. The first strength is that you've got a thing called spillover. So the way that spillover works is that people who sign up above you or below you are spilling down into your network. And people who've joined 20 levels above you might rejoin your network below you. And every time somebody joins or somebody gets spilled into your network, you earn money from it. So that's a huge plus for this particular compensation plan. You can also...
Yeah, it's a huge plus because you don't have to do anything technically, right? Like if you have, if you're like near the middle of the line and you have hundreds and hundreds of people underneath you through no like effort of your own, you could still potentially make money. But Elker mentioned maybe you rank up when you have a certain number of personally enrolled people. And so maybe the commissions that you can get are limited based on the number of people you personally brought into the line. What do you think about that?
Also earn from this plan without much effort. So you can really say to people when you're signing them up, you can say, all you need to do is sign up a couple of people, make sure they do the same, and this thing will run away. And because everybody's in the same league, if you're in a network with 200, 300, 400 people above you, all of those people are actually putting people into your network, and these legs explode. Literally, they go down.
That's similar like in Beachbody though, right? Like if you're in someone's strong leg, they're just going to be putting people underneath you. And so your strong leg that like your upline helped you build, that's just going to balloon in volume, but then you're not actually going to get paid unless you can build your weak leg that you have to build independently, right? And so that's pretty much the same. And in Beachbody, you need a couple people, like you need like a few people to get to diamond and maintain diamond. And then you can get a really, really high income. So I don't really see a difference there. Oops. Elker says, basically, this is how to get attention from the FTC video. Yeah, like all you have to do is just recruit 2 people, and then all these people above you are just going to keep putting people in the line, and then you're just going to be rich and you don't even have to do anything. I wonder how sales commission works in this. So if someone actually just sells a product to someone who's not part of the line, how does that kind of commission make its way up the line? Because it's not a pyramid, it's a line.
Fast. Then you get maximum commission, so the network doesn't suffer at all from breakage. So you pay out maximum commission, which means that the network doesn't get any breakage, which means that they're always earning the maximum amount of commission that can be paid out. And then, of course, we have explosive growth. These things, just because they're going down one leg and there's such tremendous up motivation, these businesses absolutely explode. And because everybody has got to sign into the network again every 10 or 20 places, you get a lot of spillover just from people signing back in again or registering back in or buying back in. Now, the
So you get money just from the fact that people have to sign back into the scheme. And so these people, you don't even have to recruit them. It's just the mere act of like them being in the system and then them having to buy back in, and you're going to make money off of that. That seems scammy in my opinion, but we're going to learn about the weaknesses now.
weaknesses. Number one, you got no leadership. It's a single line. You sign somebody up, they could be 20, 30, 40, 100 levels below your main node. So you're not really leading a team. These people just sign up and these businesses grow. The second thing is
That's a great point, eh? Like in Beachbody, it's just two legs, but people have their own team. So people will lead their personally sponsored teams and then like their entire downline teams, unless you're like Scotty Hobbs and you have 45,000 people. Like he's probably not leading 45,000 people. But when you have just one line that just goes down and down and down, there's not going to be like a direct upline, the person that like brought you into the business and that mentors you and gives you guidance and like teaches you how to sell your products. So that's an interesting point. No leadership at all, no specific teams. And so I wonder, how do people learn? So are the people who bring them in, are they acting as mentors and are they acting as leaders for those people? Or is it kind of like everyone for themselves, just go try to figure it out and try to sell and recruit other people into your downline? What do you guys think about that? Okay, this is probably a comp plan that was only used in the early days of pyramids. I think MLMs have progressed throughout the years. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, he's going to tell us later that we should not use this comp plan.
you can earn without any effort. And the problem with that is that this breeds laziness. Now, remember, multi-level marketing is supposed to be a micro business where you're buying product at a discount, you're selling it at a profit, you're getting people to buy from you online, you're leading a team of salespeople who are going out and selling the product. And it's something like this, guy goes out, signs up 2 or 3 people, and then sits back and just lets the money roll in. Now, that's great for him, but it's not great for the company because the company doesn't get the benefit of the effort that needs to go into building these networks. And then there's no breakage. So what normally happens is the companies use the breakage to reward the leadership. But when there is no breakage, there's no money to reward the leadership. So it doesn't encourage leadership at all. And then these businesses tend to grow very, very fast. They explode out of the blocks, but there's no longevity in them, and they tend to crash just as fast as they grow. Now,
so they tend to crash just as fast as they grow. Okay, so networks based on recruiting usually grow fast and then collapse even faster. That's the same for all comp plans. A binary compensation plan your downline, your tree can break down really fast if you're a 10-star diamond and then a bunch of people like drop their rank and say you go from 10-star to 1-star. So like that's the same thing for all MLM compensation plans, in my opinion. I'm surprised he's even spending so much time explaining something that no one is doing or should do. Yeah, you're right. I think like some companies do this, but I think probably that very, very few companies are actually doing it because it's a pyramid scheme, in my opinion, because like you don't actually have to sell a product. You're just making your money when people have to buy back in below you, and that's probably how you're making the majority of your money. Trying to make himself look like the expert. Yeah, good point.
They grow. Now, there's a whole legal issue around here. First of all, you're being paid to recruit, and people are having to buy back in again. And the problem with that is that's deemed illegal in most countries around the world, especially in the first world countries like Europe, UK, US, Canada, all of the major Australia, all the major first world countries, this would be considered illegal. The second thing is that because of the nature of the structure, it would be deemed an illegal pyramid. So in most countries, they would just look at this and say, sorry, this is illegal, you can't use it. A big part of being legal is having the 30-70 split customers and IBOs. So you shouldn't have more than 30% of your total network as IBOs or independent business owners. 70% of your network should be customers who are buying the product purely because they want the product. And if that's not there, this is not legal.
I feel like that's the easiest thing ever to fake though. Like you could just have like ghost accounts and pretend that they're customers, and or you could just like falsely report that you have 70% of your network are customers, and you could just like check a box. And so you can have in my opinion, you can have a binary compensation plan that does not follow that rule as well. To give him credit, I like that he shares his knowledge for free. I learned a lot from his videos. He seems very knowledgeable. Oh yeah, for sure. He has a lot of experience in the field, and I think he is a good teacher. And I definitely, even the ones I don't understand, I definitely want to at some point do all 8 of these compensation plan videos just to learn more about it myself, because I really want to be able to talk about all 8 of these compensation plans. Ooh, where's my mouse? There it is.
So in my opinion, this is not a compensation plan I would recommend, to be honest with you. Yes, you can get rapid growth that can explode, but it is very much a bell curve, as from what I've seen, and I would recommend staying away from it. Now, there are mechanisms that are used to change some of the negatives about it, but once they put those mechanisms in this particular comp plan, starts looking more like a fixed matrix and less like a uni level or uni.
So he was saying that you, as I mentioned earlier, you can put mechanisms in place that make it less illegal, but then when you do that, you change the nature of the compensation plan, and then it's no longer a mono-leg compensation plan. And I find that pretty interesting.
Leg. So my recommendation would be stay away from this one. I want you to know about it so that you know it exists, so that you know how to sort of discuss it with people when the time comes. But this is not an ideal compensation plan for just about any type of product.
Isn't that interesting? So I feel like we have enough time to do another one. Oops, I did not start it over. So I feel like we have enough time to do another one, but I think this one is like a major, it's an example of a really, really obvious pyramid scheme. Obviously, binary compensation plans can also be considered a pyramid scheme, but this one, you are literally just getting paid when people sign back into the scheme underneath you, and so you don't really have to recruit. I don't think it does not encourage recruitment, because it doesn't really matter if you don't have direct recruits unless for ranking up, but we don't really know how people would rank up in these companies. You don't really need to sell. You don't really need to train your people either. So I think it was interesting to learn about. Elker says, which comp plans do you not understand? There was one I was listening to earlier today that I did not get, and I think I need to go into it a little bit more. It might have been something breakaways. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, my goal is do all 8 of the compensation plan videos. RK says, hey, Heather, I am late. No worries, RK. Thank you for joining us. We were just learning a bit about MLM compensation plans from a company that helps MLM CEOs or individuals who want to start their MLM companies. Stair-step breakaway. Yes, that's probably it. And I need to listen to that video like 100 times, and then I'll be able to do a video on it. So this one is called the 2-Up plan, and this is a very short video, so we might only have a few more minutes, and then we can go enjoy our Fridays.
Hi, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at the 2-Up compensation plan. This is part of a series of videos that I'm doing explaining compensation plan structures and showing you the best way to use them, their benefits and their drawbacks. Now, if you like this content, please bang that bell so that you get the notifications of new content that gets posted. And if you can like us and subscribe, that would be really great, because we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers so we can start live streaming on YouTube.
He says that in every video. You can subscribe or you can live stream on YouTube with like no subscribers, can't you? I don't think you need a certain number of subscribers, so I don't really understand that. couple comments came in. RK says, I understand none of them. I prefer an hourly wage or price per piece I sell artwork. Yeah, excellent point. I also prefer an hourly wage where I actually know how much I am getting paid. Yeah, that's a great point. Income disclosure statements are how compensation should be measured. Yeah, that is true. Like that's a really logical statement, but we hear the MLM distributors all say that those not compensation plans, the disclosure statements aren't accurate. I heard lots of Monet women say that today because it shows like all of Monet distributors, even the ones who are just signed up to get a discount on the product, and that it's not accurate and they don't mean anything. Jessie Lee Ward says that a lot too. And I think it's like just deflecting on based on the fact that like these disclosure statements show that no one is making a significant amount of money and that like people are going into debt in these companies. Elker said ACN, which was endorsed by Trump, has had a stair-step breakaway plan. I knew a six-figure earner that was kicked out because he was outranked by his downline. Interesting. Yeah, I'll listen to stair-step breakaway more and maybe do a stream on that soon. They are the publisher of the statements, right? And so if they're so inaccurate, Monet, then you should change how you do your your disclosure statements so it actually portrays an accurate representation of the money that people are making. But like they can't do that because that is the accurate representation. It is information and data collected by the companies themselves. That's a great point, Rich.
Now, the 2-up plan is great, as I said, for single big ticket item purchases. Now, the way that it works is, let's say you've got Amy in your team. Now, Amy goes out and signs up 2 people. She signs up John and she signs up Fred. Now, as the name 2-up compensation plan alludes to, what happens is those 2 people get given away to you. So you land up with John and Fred in your front line. Now, you split the commissions with Amy. Let's say there's $100 commission. So Amy would get 30% of that. She would get $100, and of course, you would get 70%. Amy.
So we're you up here, right? And then Amy is our direct recruit. And then the first 2 people that Amy brings in, we get the majority of that commission. So 70% goes to us, and then 30% goes to Amy. And then after that, anyone else that Amy recruits, she gets 100% of the commission off of them. So that's what we're looking at now. Liv Panic says, I wonder if this guy will get into income disclosure statements while he's giving all his advice to CEO wannabes. I'm sure there's an income disclosure statement video on his channel. There's lots of information in there. And so I'll take a look and maybe there's an interesting one we can talk about.
Thereafter can go and sign up as many people as she likes, and the beauty of it is that she gets 100% of all the commission that's due on any of those people she signs up. So after giving away those first 2 people, which is the key thing, she gives away her first 2 people. After giving away her first 2 people, she then gets 100% of everybody that joins up under her. If John were to sign up 2 people, say Abby and Kim, they would be given to you and you would split 30-70 with John.
So it doesn't even need to be people who you directly recruit, because remember, Amy is our direct recruit and she recruited John, but then John recruited Abby and Kim, and so then we get 70% of that commission too. So we're just going to have a freaking massive front line that everyone who our recruits recruit, we also get the first 2 people that they recruit, and it just goes on and on and on. At first, I assumed that it was just our personal recruits, but it is not. So we are getting a crap ton of people from everyone in our downline. So Amway has teamed up with Apple. They have a TV ad together. Oh no. Where did you find that? Is that on YouTube or something? I'll look for it. That's terrible.
Fred signed up 2 people, say Faye and Val. They would be given to you as well. You'd split 30-70 with Fred. And of course, you can go and sign up as many people as you like. As you can see, as this thing starts to get momentum, the acceleration, the exponential acceleration of this becomes rapid and quite strong. You can grow to many thousands of people very quickly through this process. Now, where you would apply.
Yeah, you can. And a lot of the people who are going to end up in your front line aren't actually people that you recruited yourself. And so a lot of the times in these compensation plans, definitely in the binary compensation plans, you're getting a lot of money off of people that you didn't actually bring into that you did not actually bring into your downline directly, because you're getting money off of, say, Beachbody. You're getting money off of all of the people who make up your diamonds in that in your team. You get money off of anyone in your left leg and your right leg, and then here you're getting money off of anyone that's recruited in your downline ever, and then you are just given their first 2 recruits. That would drive me crazy. So they talk about mentorship. It is the most cringe ad in the history of TV. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that, and maybe I can add it into my Saturday or Sunday stream, because I'm doing another Amway stream. Thank you for that.
It's ideal for high ticket sales, as I said earlier on, and it's used extensively in the leisure industry, so the timeshare industry, that kind of stuff.
I wonder why it's good for high ticket sales. Could that be because, like, when you bring in Amy and then Amy brings in 2 people, you get 70% and she gets 30%. So maybe it's good for higher priced sales, because you need to make sure the 70% and the 30% commission is still worthwhile. What do you guys think about that?
Wonderful for once off with annuity sales. So if you had an annual purchase where a person has to subscribe to this thing annually, then of course this would be a fantastic model for that, because every year the money comes in, the commissions just get spent. There's also no leadership. It's good in a place where no leadership is required. So if you're in a situation where you don't need leadership, you don't need people training their downline on how to sell various different products, you don't need any of that kind of stuff, it's a perfect compensation plan for that kind of environment. And
I don't understand why you wouldn't need training, because you're going to have a huge front line of people that are in your direct downline that you should train, in my opinion, especially if you're selling something that's really, really expensive. Like you said, a timeshare. Like, I don't know how to sell a timeshare, so I don't really understand why this one doesn't require leadership. I understand why the monoleg doesn't require it, because there's no actual teams. And so in this one, it's unclear. They probably don't get a direct bonus just for the purpose of recruiting people, but it's obvious that you are not going to make any money unless you have a really, really big front line. Like, you have to build wide. You have to be built really, really wide and not necessarily deep. And of course, your front line is just based off of everyone in your downline and then their first 2 people. I could imagine this comp plan is not designed for big teams of untrained people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really understand that. I don't get why this plan is good for no leadership. Seems weird.
Of course, in a space where you're looking to gain rapid growth without having to worry about training and all of that kind of stuff, this is also an awesome comp plan for that. Okay, so let's talk about the strengths of this compensation plan. The first strength is that you get explosive growth. Once people understand how the plan works and they embrace it, they literally embrace it wholeheartedly. So you find that the people who get into this plan and who like this plan, it creates explosive growth. The second strength is there's an annuity income. So once the network starts growing, it requires very little effort to keep that ball rolling. So once people are giving you 2, they just keep giving you 2, and that accelerates over time, which is really cool.
Yeah, it accelerates over time based off of no work that you actually did, because it's not necessarily people you brought in. It's the people of the people you brought in. It could be, or it could go even lower down than that. And so you're accelerating and growth through very little effort of your own, because he's going to say later, you could get thousands of people through just getting the first 2 people of every single one of the members in your downline. And so, yeah, you're right. Explosive growth with very little effort. I don't know if I already highlighted this, but the plan is only good for the owners of the MLM, just like all MLM companies. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And I also think for the people who were lucky enough to make it to the very, very top of their pyramid and who are making like $1 million a year, but we know it could be like 0.0000001% of the people in MLMs are actually profiting significantly, substantially off of these compensation plans.
Weaknesses, people hate giving away their first two people. So even though they love getting the thousands of people that other people give to them, giving away those first two people is really a big hurdle that they have to overcome. And so you overcome that problem by training. You train them to understand exactly why this whole process works by giving away two people.
Sorry, didn't you just tell us that we don't have to train people and we don't have to be a leader? But then you're saying the way to overcome the issue of people not wanting to give two people up is by training and education. So I don't really understand that, sir. You're being contradictory in a 5-minute video. And of course, people are not going to be happy giving away their first two people as their first act in the business. Obviously, like you probably have to work really hard to get your first two people, and it's going to be a lot of time and a lot of effort. And of course, you want to get the full compensation on your first two people, and I think that makes sense. Todd says, oh my God, Heather, I just watched the Apple and Amway commercial. It is just horrendous. Yeah, a different viewer let me know about that commercial. I'm doing an Amway stream on Sunday with our friend Bill. And so maybe I'll add that to the stream. I'll go take a look and see what it's all about. Thank you, Todd. We're almost done.
The second thing is that it's really geared for one-off sales. So if you've got a product that is multiple sales, maybe you've got like cosmetics or lotions and potions, it really doesn't work well in that space. It's really...
Did you hear the lotions and potions? I feel like that might be a big saying I feel like that might be like a saying in MLM world, because all of the savvy friends, they always say, oh, our clothes, it's not like all the lotions and potions of the health and wellness MLMs, like this is an instant impact product. That's hard to say. I just thought it was funny. I hear lotions and potions all of the time. This man is a poor man's Dexter Yager. He cannot even stick to his story. Yeah, he can't. You're right. Like he keeps switching up what he's saying, but I do think this person is a good teacher, and I think that he is relatively knowledgeable, although he does contradict himself. And yeah, I would rather listen to him than Dexter.
Something that if you've got a product that a person buys, consumes, then that is a brilliant way to generate ongoing sales. So timeshare, vacuum cleaners, anywhere where there's a high priced, high ticket item, one-off sale works very well for that. So
I literally just said this, but in what world does one not need training and education for selling freaking timeshares? Like that's crazy. I would want to learn what a timeshare is before I'm selling it.
Thank you very much. That is a short overview of the 2-Up comp plan. I hope you liked what you saw there. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, give us a thumbs up. It's really been great chatting with you. Thank you very much.
So that's all I have for today. I hope you guys liked that. I enjoyed doing like a slightly different kind of video today, so a little bit out of like my comfort zone, but I was really excited to dive into like a different kind of topic, and I really liked that. And so I hope you guys liked it too. So a few comments came in. They all say the same crap. We are different from the other MLMs. The reality is that they're all the same and they're all copying Amway. Yeah, that's a great point. You are totally right, because yeah, all MLMs, their compensation plans might be slightly different, but it's all going to lead to the same result. That's a great point. El Curse says, I'd rather listen to him than anyone from WFAB or the Empire. Yeah, because he seems like a nicer person. He seems more personable, but we always have to think of motives, right? Like he's not screaming at us. He's not preaching at us, but his motives are to educate MLM CEOs more so that they can create a compensation plan where just a few people can succeed like in every MLM and everyone else is going to fail. So I do agree. And it's so sad when I do find people in the MLM world where I'm like, okay, you're a good person. You're intelligent. I like you. But then I do get sad when I think about like their motive behind what they're saying and being nice. And then I feel weird about it, you know? So RK says he's not a mean girl, right? Right? Yeah. Sorry, there's some comments coming in. I'm getting confused. Very exciting that you're covering these vids. Yay, thank you, Elker. I did my best. I tried to think of some good commentary, and so I'm happy you liked it. Great content and not something I've seen anywhere else. Yay! Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, there's 8 videos on the compensation plan playlist, and I'm going to do my best to get through all of those videos. Rich says, thanks again, Heather. Great review. You're welcome, Rich. Thank you. So that's all I have for today. I really like doing that. Thank you for listening to me ramble about these videos. Thank you to those who might have a bit more knowledge and who gave some feedback and context. I really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you to everyone who commented. Hi, Hal. These are thumbs up. Thank you. L. Kerr says, is there an email address I can contact you on? Yeah, like 1 or 2 of you have been asking about that. And so I did finally create a Yahoo email for YouTube. And so I don't remember what it is right now. I think I put it in the description of this video, so you can go check it out. And then after this, I'll make sure that it's in the description and you can send me stuff there, like links or videos or research, anything that you find interesting. And then I'll see if I want to make a video on it. Yeah. So that's all I have for today. I'm doing an Amway stream on Sunday, so I hope you can join me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.